Of the greatest pool players on the planet, playing on this beautiful diamond 5x10, a $32,000 purse. Oh, this is fun. This is the Diamond BIGFOOT 10-ball challenge. We're at single elimination action, and we're still in round one. Let's meet the players. First up, he's a World Junior Champion, a Euro Tour Champion, sponsored by Q-Tech and Tom from Moscow, Russia. Make some noise for Fedor GORST. His opponent really doesn't need an introduction. He's a U.S. Open 8 and 9 ball champion, a world champion, two-time all-around Derby City champion. He's sponsored by 3-Second Q Cases, High Rock, and Enviro Assessments from Toronto, Canada. The Lion, Alex PAGULAYAN. Our referee for this match is Ken.
Thank you, Derek. Gentlemen, please go ahead and line for the break if you would. Now my pleasure to send it upstairs to our commentary booth, to Mark Willson, and ladies and gentlemen, the voice of Accu-Stats, Mr. Billy Incardona up there. Thanks. Take it away, guys. Yeah, how about a hand for Billy and Mark? What do you say?
Welcome to Accu-Stats, continuing coverage of the Derby City Classic BIGFOOT 10-ball challenge. My name is Mark Willson. My partner today is none other than the 9-ball Billy Incardona. What are your opening thoughts, Billy?
Well, my opening thoughts are this. When you're talking about prodigies, you really have to take a real good look at this young man, Fedor GORST, because 18 years of age, and no other sport, by the way, Mark, do I know of anyone this young competing against the best players in that sport. And GORST certainly has done that in the past, and looks like he's doing it again this year as well.
Yeah, he's played in this 3 times. His first year, he beat Darren Appleton. Last year, he finished second to Roberto Gomez in this event, and now here he is a third time at 18 years of age, so he started when he was 16. PAGULAYAN has won the lag. He'll be breaking. The 6 and the 7 ball located right behind the 1 ball are the ones that have been most commonly drifting into the side pockets. The 2 and 3 go 4 rails around the table.
And it's really ideal for the breaker because the 2-3 end up on the foot end of the table most often. And pocketing the 1, dropping on the 2 to the 3 shouldn't be a problem in most racks because of the way they're racked. PAGULAYAN making the 2 on the break. Notice that where the 3 is next to the foot spot and actually adjacent to the 4. So the 3 to the 4 doesn't present much of a problem. But of course, the 10 blocks the pocket for the 4 in the lower left. So he's going to have to play fairly accurate on the 3. Probably a straight-in angle. He should draw the cue ball here and go around and toward the 3 in that fashion. So that way he's able to attain that nice straight angle, and he'll be able to draw it straight back. Maybe he got a little out of line. He may have to go forward now. See, if he draws it back, he may not come up with a good angle on the 4, to pocket the 4 and get away from the 10. Maybe he's going to go forward with the cue ball, play position for the 4 on the side. Mark, what do you think?
Definitely. Or else he's going to try to force and stun it across, but it looks like he's going forward.
Yeah, we're talking about one of the best technicians and ball pocketers in the world when you're talking about Alex PAGULAYAN. And he plays all games extremely well. I think if he has a weak game, it probably would be straight pool because that's the game that he probably never even plays.
Right.
But as far as all the other games, even the bank pool, he's a great banker. One pocket, he's probably regarded as the best one-pocket player in the world, real close with Arculo. And in 10-ball and 9-ball, well, his record speaks for itself there.
You're talking about prodigies. You and I both remember when Alex was the 18-year-old that couldn't get into the Camel Tour events and would stand outside and play the other pros. I mean, and now here he is, 40 years old, and it's kind of scary for me and you thinking because he was the kid then. So, but yeah, he once was Fedor GORST.
Yeah, I've been watching some of the play here this year at the Derby City. This is the 21st year, by the way, the Derby City. I never missed one yet. Hopefully I won't miss any more. I won't miss any going forward. But the play is extremely great. I watched some wonderful pool play here. Maybe it's because I'm getting up there in age, and it seems like the things they're doing are so difficult, you know.
The standards are rising, I would say that, because you have that influx of the Europeans and then now the Republic of China, Taipei players here that just, it's not like they practice up to get good. This is their lifestyle. They do it every single day, and it's not like they wonder what they're going to do tomorrow.
Pagulayan really ran this rack out quite nicely.
One of the things that really helps these elite players is that they hit the pocket so purely, so their ball speeds are consistent. They're not cobbling them into the pocket, and that's why they stay in line so efficiently.
Very well said, Mark. You know how far the cue ball is going to go if you hit the object ball accurately.
Right.
So therefore, because of the accuracy of these great players, they can determine exactly where that cue ball is rolling. It's when the cue ball escapes you is you hit the object ball a little off where you want to hit it, and then obviously the cue ball either goes too quickly or too slowly or whatever. Anyway, that was a great rack by Pagulayan.
Yeah, the other part of that is when you talk about elite players, there's a term called missing in the pocket, where they make it into the pocket, but it didn't hit the right part, so now their speed's off, and then it's subsequently down the way, 3 shots down. Now they're back cutting something super thin just because of that earlier error that the casual fan is just happy to get the ball into the pocket, not at this level, not to maintain that.
And to make things even more complicated, it all stems from the cuemanship. If you can hit that cue ball where you want to hit it and don't put any unintended English on the cue ball to miss a ball because of that,
right,
then you can really determine where that cue ball is going to be going consistently.
Exactly right. We get our first look here as Gorst is breaking, rack number 2, 4 and 5, right behind the head ball. The softer speed seems to allow those balls to trickle into the side pocket more often.
Yeah, I noticed that as well when Jason Shaw was breaking the balls. He was playing that second ball in the side pocket, and he was hitting it with the speed.
Just modest.
Made me believe that he's not really putting a lot of velocity, a lot of power into this.
Right.
It's obviously it was intentional, and he was getting good results because speed has a lot to say with how those balls perform on the break.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these guys opt for accuracy rather than power these days. Pagulayan slightly elevated. That's a pretty heady shot right there to stun the cue ball forward and still get quite a bit of travel out of the object ball.
I don't know if he can hit the 1. I don't know if the 5 ball is blocking the path where the cue ball needs to go to hit the 1. From our vantage point, it's very difficult to tell that.
It looks like he may be better suited to kick a rail here because he can hit more of it. I think he for sure hit part of the chip, just chip the 1 ball if he wants to go straight at it. But
anyway, he like to hit the rail underneath the 1 and go back up table with the cue ball, sending the 1 on the other side and then possibly back to the center of the table or the center of that long, short rail. That was kind of like curious why he hit it with that speed.
These guys are playing a lot of soft kicks these days, and the idea is to try to get just a hint of separation or use those blockers. Sometimes it's amazing how good they become with that, but that was an iffy shot that you don't always turn out. And it's when you kick a rail like that, you don't know exactly how you're going to land on that ball, so that if he hits it lighter or a little bit thicker,
especially with the new cloth.
Yeah.
Because you're going to get some spread coming off that long rail. It's a very challenging shot here. Not only was the shot itself a challenge, but also playing position on the 2 was a challenge. So that made that shot much more difficult. A lot of probably negative things may have been going through his mind with that shot.
Well, he got to the 2 where he wanted to be, that's for sure. So that was a good job. And, when you talk about accuracy with Pagulayan, it's amazing that here's the only pool player I've ever heard of that has a maximum on a 6x12. I don't know if you ever heard of another pool player that's had a maximum 147 6x12 snooker.
What does that mean? You run 147 points?
Yeah, it's a perfect clearance.
6x12?
Yes.
Okay, I'm not real familiar with them snooker terms.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
That's okay.
But he represented Canada a couple times in the Worlds with the elite pro players, and he has a maximum. That's a red and a black every day. Oh, a 6x12? I mean, never heard of another pool player with that. So, yeah, 5x10 is tough, but he's certainly capable of handling that challenge, is my point.
Oh, I guess so. 6x12 is 2 feet longer and a foot wider.
Yeah.
And the pockets are a little bit smaller as well, so... Yeah, so this 5x10 shouldn't intimidate him at all.
And what you were saying about his one pocket skills earlier, the year that he won, the last time he won the one pocket, it was amazing. He would make one good shot, and then he would hit the other object balls with perfect pocketing, perfect speed, never be out of line, go 8 and out, 8 and out, 8 and out. He beat about the last 3 opponents like that, where it was never a test. There was never that sparring back and forth. Every game was clean runouts. It was like fast break offense, one pocket. Now, Gorst has had a series of predicaments here where he's just had to try to defend himself. Look at that nice shot,
But
Billy.
that's an excellent shot. Oh, it escaped the area where he wanted to end up behind this 6, I believe. I don't know if Pagulayyan has enough ball to hit make the pocket the 1. I don't know if he can get around that 6. He's even having his doubts the way he looks. He's looking at the 1. He may not be able to make the 1 on the side or
kicking.
even hit it.
He's kicking. So Gorst's first shot was good. And see, there's that soft kick I was talking about earlier.
Well, he utilized the interfering balls, the 8 and the 10, for perhaps a hook, which I don't believe he's gotten. I believe he can, twist this a little bit around the 10, pocket the 1 going rail first. But then there's a position on the 2 that's the problem. I believe he can go rail first and come up. He'll be going underneath the 2, maybe play the 2 in the side like Pagulayyan did. He comes up, now he's got a shot possibly for the side pocket.
Right, where Pagulayyan had his cue ball just a little bit ago for the 2.
But the problem here, Mark, is the position of the 3 laying against the 9. He doesn't have a pocket for the 3. So what do you do here? Do you play safe and maybe try to put him behind the 5, loosen up that 3-9 in some way? You know, that's always an option. You have to deal with the 3 at some point, and if you're at the table, why deal with it now?
Yeah.
I think if you try to loosen up the 3 from the 9, position that cue ball behind the 5, even though it's not simple, it's still an option.
Right. And if you were doing the accustats, or the probably pre-planned safety is the word that comes to mind. I'm not sure he hit this well. He didn't. Yeah. That was a little bit too aggressive. And like you said, he should have included the 5 ball as part of the plan there.
Well, when you leave the cue ball out in space like he did there, you have to be really, really positive what's going to happen with the object ball, or else something like this is going to happen.
Maybe a hint of youth. That being said, Fedor GORST is also very accustomed to the 5x10 because he's from Moscow, and they brought in a diamond 5x10 3 years ago for him. And that's what he trains on regularly, just so you know. So he's not afraid of the 5x10 himself.
Pagulayyan opted to play safe there. I don't know if he tried to pocket that ball. I don't know. If Gorst can hit the outside of the 2, which I don't think he can, then Pagulayyan's going to end up in a little bit of trouble. But I don't think he can hit the outside of the 2. I think the 9 precludes him from being able to do that. And even the back kick to 2 is going to be a problem.
I think he can kick behind the 2, and he's trying to get the cue ball down behind the 10 with this shot.
He's going to have to elevate here and spin it. Well, maybe he can go straight at it like so. Okay, well, the cue ball is positioned a little bit differently than it looks up here.
Oh, he
But
was
that's
using
not
those
right.
balls.
That's not going to get him anything. It's going to get him in trouble.
The foul ball in hand.
It looks like the 3-9's lined up, but of course the 10's the winning ball.
Yeah.
He may play safe for the 3-9 or possibly the 3 in the side.
Or 3 in the corner. He might get over on the far long rail there.
Yeah.
That might play better.
That's much better because that gives him better position for the 4.
Okay.
Now he's got the right angle to drop for the 4. All other balls are laying reasonably
That's what you have
good.
to love about the Filipinos, is they get on the right angles from rotation play so often, ball in hand, and there's a lot of guys that don't really study ball in hand when they should. These guys are adept at it, and they get that angle so that the rest of the rack lays pretty straightforward after that.
playing on the 5x10, you have a lot of room to play the short side of the position. Like he'll play position for the 5 in the lower right-hand corner, or his left now.
As you know, Billy, I'm not a prolific gambler, but I have established a criteria that if you play in this tournament, score over 900, I will stake you. So that's my requirement.
Wow.
Yeah, I was, not real lenient or anything, loose. It is amazing, though. We've had some 900s already played on this table.
Now, he wants to play shape on the 6 to where he just a slight cut to his left. That way he can get real nice on the 7. You don't want too strong. You don't want too steep of a cut. That's nice. So he goes to the rail and right at the 6. He would like to get slightly under the 6, meaning to the left of the 6. After pocketing the 6, the cue ball will then go to the right as opposed to the left. That'll put him in a more ideal and convenient line for position for the 8.
And a shorter travel path to the 7, too. So.
Try to look from the draw back near the side pocket and come off the rail near the side pocket. That way. Now he wants to get down a little further. I don't think he's attained the angle that he wanted. Still workable, but he's going to do a little extra traveling now. Had he gone down another 6 inches to the left, then he would have been ideal for the position for the 8. Now he's going to do a little extra traveling here.
Little draw, one rail out to the center of the table. But I got into that one a little deeper.
And sometimes when you have to travel a little extra, you don't really land where you want, and that was one of those times.
Yeah, he got in there a little deeper than he really wanted. And boy, this is a challenging shot either way he goes, corner or side.
Pagulayan, one of the better ball strikers in the world today. Shouldn't have much of a problem pocketing this, but I think his cue ball may be a little bit of a problem here.
It's thin either way he goes. He went back in the side, and that gives him a little bit more travel area.
I think that's a better shot in the side if he can pocket it. That gives him natural 3-rail position for the 9. If he cuts it in the corner, he's going to be close to his work with the 9, and there's no guarantee he's going to come up with a shot on the 9. I kind of like in the side here.
Yeah, if you go in the corner, the cue ball naturally wants to go to the wrong side of the table when you play position.
Right.
Then you have to add extra power to take that out of there, which means accuracy is mitigated.
Now, this shot may be a little more difficult in terms of pocketing the ball.
Right.
But it's certainly much better as far as playing position with the cue ball. Wow.
Wow. 5-rail position, and that's because he couldn't hold it.
I didn't even think of that.
World class.
I didn't think he was that thin on the 8 not to be able to hold it 3 rails. But evidently he was.
That's a TV shot right there. That deserves a replay. To recognize and then execute it.
And as hard as he hit it, that's how hard he needed to.
Right.
And it's very difficult to hit that type of a shot with the speed that he hit it with. But he had the know-how and the understanding of the shot to know that he needed to do that.
Right. And that way that checks up off the 5th rail, it really takes a lot of the pace out of the ball. So he knew that. He knew that. Played it perfect.
He factored everything in perfectly, and he came up with a great shot.
Tremendous run out there after overstriking the draw shot. 2-0s are our score. Early stages. Pagulayan's playing the 950 clip. Let me give you some stats from what we've had transpire here so far. This is our 6th match. Joshua Filler played a 919, winning his match. Boosty was at 882. Orcolo 868. Corey Duell 894, and then Jason Shaw at 927. So all very nice figures on the 9-foot table, not counting the 30% more difficulty the 10-footer presents. Okay, Pagulayan breaking from the center, the 8 and 5, right behind the 1 ball.
8 in the side. Nope. Yes,
5,
8 in the side.
8 and the 5. He made both of them.
He made both balls in the side. But he didn't control that 1 ball. I've noticed some of the great players here at this tournament, when they break the balls, the 1 ball goes toward that corner pocket a lot. And that's not by accident. They're actually controlling the 1 ball. Pagulayan broke the balls, got good results in terms of pocketing balls, but didn't control the 1 ball.
Looks like he's aiming with the bridge, which you know he's going to be good with the bridge if he plays 6x12 to thin this one.
And he went to go behind the 9 here. Watch out for the corner pocket. Watch out for the corner pocket.
He did good.
And you can't do any better than that with the bridge.
And I would like to mention there is no use of jump cues in this tournament. So I think you and I both will approve of that rule. Once again, Gorst comes to the table with less than ideal position, just kicking for his life.
He trails by 2 games quickly, 0-2 at the table, and it doesn't look real good this game for Gorst because now he has to kick, very difficult kick.
Right.
The 3's in the way. It looks like it's in the way of the 3-rail kick.
Yeah, rack 1, Pagulayan won the leg, broke and ran out. Then rack 2, he got to kick a time or 2, and then that's it. That's the extent.
He's looking to kick 3 rails here, Mark. I don't know. This is good. If he misses it, it's going to be to the underside of the 1. You know, the 3 rails, and missed the 1 on the underside. He's not going to go long here, unless he goes high and puts a lot of English on it. Looks like he's going to get pretty good results here.
Good job, yeah.
And that little brush there certainly helped him. Pagulayan, if he can kick 2 cushions, going to both rails and then contacting the 1, the cue ball should then go between the 4 and 10, making its way up table, if he hits it perfectly. But there's a lot of other things that can happen too. Let's take a look. 1, 2, see up table? He hit it too thickly, but I think he got away with it.
Yeah, he kicked the softer speed, and then he clattered into a couple balls, but it all worked out pretty nice.
And when you have a lot of possible interfering balls in that specific area, quite often that happens. You end up behind those balls, I don't know if that's the way he was thinking, but of course I wouldn't doubt it. He's a very intelligent player.
All these top-tier players, look at that shot.
Wow, go ahead, Gorst.
All these top players are utilizing that clutter in that fashion, and that's why they're kicking softer these days. And I've seen it over the evolution of that over the last couple of years. Gorst has to make a full masse just to save his life from this rack. Think about it. He knows he's probably not getting position, but at least get through this inning where he has a chance.
So that's part of the culture of the soft kick then.
Yes.
Knowing that you got all those balls as interfering balls, so.
Yeah, that's Efren Reyes stuff there.
He's trying to get behind the 3. Actually, he didn't, but he put the cue ball on top of the 3, created distance, so therefore that's pretty good. He's got a lot of allies there with the distance and the cue ball placement right near the 3. Pagulayan certainly has a big test in front of him here.
He may just put the 2 over by the 9 and try to introduce the 10 with the cue ball.
How about the cue ball by the 9 here? That.
Okay, that's better.
Yeah.
He was able to get distance here if he's...
I don't think he hooked him.
Yeah.
But I think the 2 ball traveled far enough down table where now the 3 precludes him from pocketing to get in that pocket.
Yeah.
So he's going to have to make a good hit here.
Yeah, he's down looking at to see what kind of a clear lane he does have or doesn't have.
I wonder if he can cross the 2 and put the cue ball behind the 3, but that's a sellout if he doesn't put the cue ball behind the 3 because of the speed that he has to hit this shot with. Or you go the other route, do cross the 2, back down by where the 10 is, create distance, and forget about the hook.
Gorst regularly trains with the top players in Moscow, which they got some serious talent there. Look at this. Went all out for the bank.
Wow. I didn't even think about that option. But you know why? Because I would never make that bank.
He stayed very still. He has a very compact stroke, and he's tremendously accurate. And he assessed that the bank had a higher yield percentage-wise than trying to play safe. So,
well, I can't argue that point, because when you play safe, you can't win from there unless you play a perfectly executed safety and then reap the rewards because of a missed hit by your opponent. But that shot right there solves all that. You don't really have to worry about your opponent anymore because you're at the table.
Right. And you can now see how he made it to the finals last year with shots of that nature, recognizing them and then standing there and executing it under extreme pressure.
And being as tall as he is certainly doesn't hurt things, especially playing on a 5x10.
That being said, all the masters of the game were short. You had Mosconi, Karras, Greenleaf, Parika, Incardona, who else? All guys. When you talk about tall players, what would it be? Buddy Hall and Jim Rippey.
Certainly a contradiction to the way most people may think. You know, I mean, I would think that the taller player would have an advantage playing, especially on a 5x10.
And Jimmy Karras had over a 300-ball high run on a 5x10. If you can imagine that.
Well, maybe they're just a lot more shorter players. So therefore, the odds of a shorter player prevailing on any table for about 9 5x10 is more, you know.
Here's my assessment. The shorter players has a shorter span between his right hand and left hand, so he doesn't introduce as much wobble as Dave Bowman and Mark Willson do when they're out here like that. A little hint back here shows up as a whole lot in the front end, and that's what I think.
Technically, you're correct.
I've thought about it before because I used to play Scott Kiddo a lot, and you know I'm a foot and a half, right? And he would have no trouble making the same long shot that I would try to make, and I would struggle and get through it, but it was effortless. And I was thinking, why? This is weird because I'm playing as much pool as he is. I know I am, but anyway, that's just a personal opinion, is all.
But you know what? There's a lot of players that hold their right hand way back on the stick. I think Buddy Hall is one of them, by the way. You know. And he never had any problems in making that long shot.
Right. There are exceptions to everything. You know? But also remember, Buddy Hall's tall, and it looked like he was holding it way back, but he was actually straight up and down. It was just that back then it was 57, 58-inch cues. To where today I play 61-inch cue, and it's almost too short. So it's just that kind of the evolution that's much like the soft kick here.
Getting back to that point you just brought up, you play with a 61-inch cue. How long, if you do know, how long is the cue Van Boning now plays with?
Pretty long, and he uses an extension. He takes it in and out, so it might be as high as 64 inch. Yeah.
Okay. What's your take on that?
These guys say it swings truer. I haven't did it enough, but I see them with great effect. But then I do notice when they start to feel like they're dogging it, all of a sudden that extension comes out. Then they tell me they're playing great. Then they start dogging it the other way. All of a sudden they got it back in. No, I feel better with it. So it's psychological
so
too.
Therefore, it's like an assistance. In other words, it will help you maybe get out of that little rut that you might be in.
Yep.
You know, because a lot of the game is you know, it's psychology. You know,
Absolutely.
It's psych you in, psych you out, different things. You know.
Nice opening here for Gorst. You know, Efren Reyes would change cues quite often even during the middle of a match sometimes, and it's like he plays so much pool, he wants something that shocks his system, so it feels weird, it doesn't play the same. Now he's got to concentrate extra hard. It always amazed me that he would do that against top talent, but he just played so much it didn't matter, and it would kind of refresh him or reset him.
I've seen him quite often, not quite often, I've seen him enough times change a cue. Depending on the type of a shot that he had, I think it was.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, he changes that. I wouldn't even dare try it, but he does it just of free will.
He would shoot that shot and then go back with his playing cue. And which were they were both playing cues, but I was kind of curious on why that was a better cue to shoot that shot with.
Yeah.
I never did ask him that.
You don't see Gorst have any kind of quick transition suggesting that he's nervous or anxious or anything, and he withstood a pretty good flurry of kick saves there they had to create, and now he's in offensively and working on trying to tie this match up.
No, I like the way he plays. He's a very meticulous type of a player. Walks around the table, takes a look at his angle. See, now he's looking at his angle on the 8 where he needs to be for the 9. Now he's looking at the 7 ball. Okay, he'll fall on the angle for the 8. It'll bring him nicely to the 9. Now he's going to have to draw back again, come back out. Now, this is a little bit tricky here, unless he can bypass the 10 with a follow, which I don't think he can. He's going to be a little tricky because remember, Pagulayan had a similar shot and ended up too close and offline on the 8.
It was almost the same angle, but Gorst hit his just a little bit higher, so it was more the stun draw rather than Pagulayan got the effective draw in there.
Now, this is where that length is going to help him.
Yes.
He can comfortably reach the 9, sending the cue ball nicely toward the 10 with real good cue ball speed, which you obviously can feel when you can reach the shot comfortably.
Wow. All stem from the straight back bank, right?
Yeah,
I mean here we are tied 2 apiece.
Here I am trying to figure out what you're better off just selling out and playing the snooker, or do you go all out and cross it and just get distance?
Yeah.
And then he shot the shot and ran out. I said, what?
Early in the match,
Excuse
4
me.
racks in, but 952 for Gorst, 909 for Pagulayan. That's a good standard.
Yeah, but a lot more play left here, a lot more play.
Yes, but these guys did hear my offer. If they need a stake horse, they have to play over 900. So,
and I'm going to tell them about that. And I'm going to hold you to that.
Well, on the 5x10, if you can do it, you got me. I'll go to the bank.
Now it's break. 2 apiece.
Okay, Pagulayan breaking 6 and 7, right behind the 1.
No, notice it 1 ball this time. See, that's where the one you want the 1, but he made the 1. Okay, but you know what? He didn't position the cue ball well off the break.
Yeah.
He got the good action on the 1 that he wanted, but he didn't control the cue ball off the break. I don't remember if the cue ball got kissed down there or if it just went down there on its own. I don't know.
It was
what
drifting
happened there.
back and got nicked, but
It did?
nevertheless, but it was drifting back. I don't know, but he's got a decent opening shot. It's not an easy shot, but it does have a nice reward.
It all depends on how you interpret decent.
Oh, true.
Decent,
Well, I'm just
not
saying.
for me, it's not decent.
Okay, well, but I think it's a shot that you have to take on if you're going to beat players at this level.
If you're Pagulayan or anywhere close to him, yeah, this is decent. Then you're right. You got to be concerned about the speed too. He doesn't want to end up behind the 10. Well, he played a safety. He played a safety all out. I don't know if that was wise for him to do that, but he got good results. And that was curious as well because I don't know, if that was the wise choice there. I'm not looking at the results of the shot and speaking off of the results. I'm just speaking before you hit that shot.
Yeah.
Are you better off going for the pocket or are you better off doing something like this? Because coming up with a good safety off of a miss like that is very difficult.
I was watching Alex play his bank pool match right before this, and I noticed he was flinching a little more than I know him. So that means his confidence is down a little bit, and that shot suggests that very thing.
Watch the scratch here because the cue ball may be going toward that pocket.
Good call,
Watch
Billy.
out.
Good call.
He ended up behind the 4, hit it with good speed. He got rewarded for his effort there, but it was kind of risky.
It's 2-2, and now Pagulayan's kicking for his existence.
Now, if you kick deep, you may scratch in the other corner. So, therefore, this is kind of interesting how he's going to kick here.
Gonna warp it in there with low. Oh boy, good result, right?
He got great results, ending up behind the 5, totally hooking Gorst. And since they're not allowed to use the jump cue here, you're going to see a lot of kicking.
And it's more artful to me. I enjoy that part of the game.
Yeah, especially coming from you as an old school player, myself as well, I really don't appreciate the jump cue as much as a person going to the table and coming up with a good kick.
The two people that enjoy it is the casual fan that don't really understand pool and think it's dramatic, and the vendors that sell jump cues. Those are the groups that love jump cues. The people that really play.
Funny. Anyway, another soft kick
It was super.
by Gorst, who ended up kicking softly and doing quite well.
You can see he's polished beyond his 18 years. I mean, this is reminiscent of Pagulayan when he was 18.
You soft kick here too?
No, I think he's going to have to go for something a little more powerful. You try to do that when there's that clutter of balls, and he didn't have it there. So Gorst has won the kicking battle here.
Right. He certainly did. Now, like I said, he's a very, very intelligent player, especially for his age. Taking a look at all the angles, when he needs to back over to the end, this side of the table, take a look at what he really needs to do.
Yeah, he's not flamboyant, and he's got a stroke that's very simple. Doesn't mean it's easy to obtain that, but it's very disciplined. Every time he's got that great timing, and that gives him good speed control.
I don't know about that angle there. I don't know about that shot. Now, he may have to play shape for the 4 in the side or in the corner that he's standing over.
I think he'll choose a conservative route.
Unless he can go forward and play position for the 4 in the bottom left corner, but he's got to get a good angle because the 5's buried underneath the 7 or the 6. So he wants to stay on this side of the table for position. Oh, that's perfect.
What a shot.
That's an excellently played shot. He wants to stay where the cue ball is now on this side of the table for position on the 5. It was crucial for him to attain an angle on the 4 to stay on this side of the table for position on the 5, and he really did it well.
And just what you highlighted right there, that's world-class pool. It's so subtle. The average fan doesn't recognize it, but you do. And glad you pointed that out. But now the rest of the rack is just a matter if he executes.
Right. Anytime you play position on a hidden ball like the 5 semi-hidden, and you have to go around that ball that hides the hidden ball, then you're always hidden until you get around it.
Mm-hmm.
If you stay on the positive side of the table, which he did, you never are behind that ball that's hiding the hidden ball.
Kind of a funny perspective. The first year he came here, I was broadcasting him playing Appleton, and I'm thinking, okay, I know you're good, kid, but this is a little bit much here. He gunned him down in cold blood, so I'm thinking, well, that's impressive. And then next year he comes back and ends up into the finals, and I was sitting in the stands talking to him, and I was kind of marveling at his composure and demeanor and how pleasant of a kid he is. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, how do you get so darn good? I mean, come on, how do you do that? And he says, Mark, there's Euro Tour events or Northern European events with kids in them. 9-foot tables only, each month, over 100 kids. Mm-hmm. And I said, oh, I never heard of such a thing. That's interesting. And he's been doing it for years. And I said, over 100 kids? He says, yes. And then he said this in the most non-gratuitous way. There's 6 other kids that are going to be world champions, as if to say he thinks they'll be better than he is.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That's pretty generous.
I mean, he's that kind of a guy, too. No ego, nothing. It's pure pool for him. I love him. I've already offered him a scholarship at Lindenwood University because...
So he's telling you what type of preparation is necessary for him to get to this level.
Right.
Because of the type of competition he's facing on a regular basis and the amount of people that he has to beat.
Don't wonder why our sport's not growing over here. We don't have college kids or younger kids participating like that, and if they do, it's a regional bar table event that they played in with a handicap. Not this, and that's, if you want to get to this level, you got to play on 9-foot tables. As simple as that. So I really admire him. I mean, he's a total breath of fresh air to talk to, and he's 100% committed to the sport.
Absolutely.
So.
I mean, you can tell that the way he walks around the table.
Yeah. 966 right now for Gorst. He leads the match 3-2.
After falling behind 2-0. Yeah, you can tell by the way he walks around the table that he's very educated at such an early age, young age, I should say.
Supreme respect for the sport.
Yeah.
Yeah. He puts the sport in front of himself, which, that's endearing to me. That's part of my family then. All right, here we go. 4 and 5 right now.
It doesn't seem like he's arrogant at all. You know what I mean?
Zero attitude.
And being 18 years old, you figure, you have to have some arrogance there.
Yeah.
Because you can do these things at such a young age. And when we're young, we can think we can do anything. We want people to know it. But we really can't. As we get older, we understand that.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have that.
He
doesn't have that. He's
very mature
young
man. And worldly, he's already traveled the globe. He's already played the best there is. I mean, and works hard every single day, just like what I was saying earlier. It's his lifestyle. It's not like he wonders what he's going to do tomorrow. Beautiful hit. Yeah, the difference is this. When I was 18, okay, I was still wondering if maybe I could get somebody older to buy us some beer. You know, and here's this kid. He's playing the best in the world on a 10-foot table. You know, so.
Oh, well, that was pretty thoughtful of you to say that. You know, I mean, come on, 18 years old, you're not supposed to be a professional.
Not at all, right? Exactly. And totally focused and totally detached. I mean, he's just cool. He understands what this is. He knows it's tough.
He took a look at the angle, and he's saying to himself, you know, not the angle that I really wanted, but I have to deal with it. Let me see how I'm going to do this. He's got those young eyes, but he's got the more mature head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the bigger deal.
So that's the compliment, his young eyes.
Composed.
Nice. Oh, nicely he struck that ball. Nice and soft, realizing that this is how I have to hit it.
When you look at his stance and you look at his clearance, and then the fact that after he hits the ball, you can just count 1,001, 1,002. That head has not moved. That tells you he's not afraid. He knows what he's supposed to do. He's had good training.
Mm-hmm. And he walks a lot when he plays. He makes sure that he walks to the angle and looks at it. Like now again, he'll walk to the angle. See, he walks a lot.
Yeah.
Goes around, he walks, he looks. You know, very mature player, very intelligent player. 18 years old.
Yeah.
I'd make him stand in the corner for a while if he was my opponent. No, you got to stand in the corner. I don't want you to be walking around like that on me.
But Alex is fully aware that he has his hands full.
Oh, he knew that going in.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Little mishit there. That was one of the few times that I've seen him do something that he didn't really,
right.
think through well.
No, it wasn't random. He just got into it a little bit. I feel confident. He never plays a shot with any carelessness, or rarely anyway. But he just, much like Pagulayan earlier, got into the bottom of the ball just a little bit too deep. Yeah. Part of what makes that shot play so much tougher is that you left it for yourself when you know that you shouldn't have.
Oh, that's the truth.
And
Yes, you're to dwell on certain things that you shouldn't. You allow that to preoccupy you with thoughts that they shouldn't.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, you find yourself in your chair and your opponent at the table.
if Alex had missed and left him the shot that he just missed, he would have made it almost every time.
Yeah.
But when you leave it for yourself, now all of a sudden it's twice as difficult.
Right, because you start to feel like badly about yourself.
Right.
And you got no time for that.
No emotion. He never shows any displeasure. He goes and has a sip of Gatorade.
Pagulayan's in trouble here.
Yeah.
He's in trouble. Opted to bank the ball, which I don't feel that was a wrong shot. I kind of liked the shot. He had a good look at it.
Yeah.
Just didn't make it. Gorst at the table, fortunately, has another opportunity after missing the 6. And that's just the nature of things, especially on the 5x10.
Yeah, he's just got such a smooth transition from backswing to foreswing, and it really contributes to his accuracy and speed control. I can't say anything bad about this kid's game.
4-2 now. Pagulayan got to do some real good playing to beat this fair young man to 11 points.
I mean, it's just great to me to enjoy this. This is my favorite event over here, is this BIGFOOT with the invited 16 players, so it's elite.
Yeah, every match is like a finals match.
100%. Yeah. Listen to the lineup for the rest of the day.
And this is a spectator's dessert right here.
Yeah.
In other words, you watch these guys play this tournament, every match you're going to see things that are just electrifying. You're going to get really entertained.
I will drive over here 4 hours, watch one match, and have to go home and say it was worth it totally. That's how good it is. The next match coming up, Jung Lin Chang versus Eclinti Kachi.
Then I never watched Kachi play.
Oh, he's Albanian. They say he's only like 19, but he looks like he's 40. So I don't know. I'm going to check his birth certificate, but he plays like he's 40 for sure.
Okay.
I mean, and then Chang. I mean, you know him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, killer. And then after that, it's Shane Van Boening versus Roberto Gomez. Gomez won this last year, so. That's all we got. Rest on tap.
16 of the greatest players on planet Earth. Where can you go to find a better menu than that?
No.
And
Look at the comfortable setting. You got the high seats. You got the risers, comfort. You get to talk to the players later. There's nowhere else in the world you get this. Good shot.
Well, the 9 and 10 are frozen together on the foot spots.
But now's not the time. I just don't imagine.
No.
Yeah, he can get that with the 6 later on.
I tell you about, they wouldn't be too bad to go into them now, though. I don't think it will be that bad because you got open pocket for the 3. You got the side, you also got the upper corner that he just walked past. So I don't think it will be too bad because you have the opportunity to do it. Do you show impatience and do it, or do you go ahead and work your way around and play it off the 6? Nope, he's going to play it off the 6, which is probably the correct way of handling this run out because of the position of the 7. See, had the 7 been in a tough spot, then you go into it off the 2. But since the 7 is ideally and conveniently positioned near the side pocket, you can go to it, break open the balls off the 6.
Yeah.
Because now the 7's right there. You don't have to do much traveling with the cue ball.
Pretty forward thinking for someone. And all the other players would recognize that circumstance too, I feel confident with. But for the casual fan watching, they might not. So they might just lunge into those 2 balls and then hope to get the 3. Or he's going to go ahead and take care of the 4-5. And then because he knows he can get position from the 6 to the 7.
Yeah, that was the critical ingredient in the shot right there. Can I get on the 6 after pocketing, the 7 after pocketing the 6 and opening up the balls? If you can't, or if you had to get lucky too, then you go into the balls off the 2. You can go 2 ways here. I like going 1 cushion straight up table. You know, I kind of like that better. And I think you're on the right angle
longer
all the time.
Yeah, right.
As opposed to going 2 cushions. Let's see how he handles it. Unless you have absolutely perfect speed, then you can go 2 cushions. See, he likes 2 cushions. And I still think he has the right angle, I believe.
Yeah. Now he's just trying to pick off the 9 ball here. He doesn't want to hit the 10 first.
In going 2 cushions, there's advantages to that as well. I think you have more accuracy going 2 cushions because you can hit the object ball with a little firmer speed.
Yeah.
I think you get closer to the 6, because you're always on that angle going in. You can get closer with more comfortability. If you want to hit the 9 here, if you hit the 10 here, you may end up. See, if you might hit the 10, you may end up behind the 9. But that's not what happened.
going to allow Ken Schumann to remove it because we're playing all ball fouls. Okay, well, in either case, he's come out of this pretty well.
And he looked to see if the 9 could clear that pocket over there. I don't even. Why would that even be an option? Doesn't he have natural position?
I think he's a little straight. I think. Well, yeah, he does have that, right? But see, he can come 3 rails around. If he stops 7, then he can play this.
Oh, I didn't see the 8. I thought he had to go from the 7 to the 9. The 8's down there. Oh my goodness.
So that's kind of why, because then he can go 3 rails around and play the 9 in the same pocket, the 10.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Without having to fight with it. No.
Yeah, but I don't like that because he don't have much of a pocket. I like what he did there, but he's got too straight on it. He wanted more of an angle to play position for the 9 on the pocket that he's standing over. Mm-hmm. Now, he may have to follow this, and that's dangerous. See, he wants to draw it because following it, bad things can happen. Look, he's playing. Oh, this is tough here. This is tough. Had he not gotten past that point right there, would gave him a little bit better way to bridge the shot and access to the cue ball as well. I think this would have been real tough, but I don't think it's easy right now. I think this is tough right here, so therefore I wouldn't be surprised to see him not do well here.
Basically the same circumstance that when he did miss that ball earlier where he left it for himself tough. This is a tough shot.
Oh, he hit that
Swish.
cleanly.
Yeah. Look at just like that, 5-2. The 18-year-old starting to really influence this match. What
Yes,
a nice
he
run
is.
out too, right?
Yes,
I mean, what a beautiful
yes.
run out.
Showed a lot of good, sensible, pattern. The pattern was sensible, and there was the obvious reasons why he opted to do what he did. We brought that up to the viewers.
941, what his TPA is right now.
Yeah, he's got a lot of good, solid points in his game at such an early, young age, I should say. He kicks well. He certainly shoots well.
His demeanor.
Yes, he's got really a good temperament. He's got a great understanding of the game.
8 ball found the side pocket. Is he going to get a shot?
No, the 6 ball.
Yeah, 7.
7 ball came in between the cue ball and the 1 ball.
Looks like he could possibly rub the 1 ball.
You think he can hit it?
Well, maybe not. Yeah, kind of here and there. We'll find out.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
If he can, that's probably what he'll do because the 2 ball is positioned as a potential interfering ball as well. Therefore, the cue ball should go down by the 3 there somewhere, and the 1 ball will go behind the 2 because that's how thinly he needs to hit it. Let's see what he does there, if he can hit it. He's pushing out.
Well, then maybe he couldn't hit it. That's what he is.
Okay, now, I think he can pocket the 1 in the pocket that he just walked past. Pagulayyan, that is.
Yeah, it looks like here on the overhead it goes.
Yeah.
If that's the case, then that's a little bit of an error to leave the cue ball that far from the cushion.
And he left him a good angle for position on the 2 as well.
Yeah.
So therefore, I was kind of surprised to see him do what he did, just like you, Mark. But he opted to play safe.
Yeah, I don't think Alex is feeling confident in his ball pocketing right at this moment. I think he's going to try to win with his B game type of a thing.
And that's the type of a shot that he had on the 1. If he wants to go for the pocket, in other words, it's either he or Gorst. Because if he would have missed that shot, it was a high percentage he would have sold out.
Right, and he's 3 games behind. He doesn't want to contribute to 4 games behind if he can help it. And then he also knows he's not feeling 100% confident.
A little different type of pressure set in there.
Yeah.
Okay, that really altered his decision possibly.
Well, it's been quite a while since we've seen Pagulayan spend any time at the table, so that's to Gorst's credit. He's just dominated the match. Nice strokes there. Not an easy shot.
Anyway, he's going to get unfortunate here behind the 4, because as well as he hit that shot, you know, you figure he would have come up with a better shot. He earned a better shot than this, obviously. That was really ill-fated for him to have ended up in this position. You know, and this is the type of adversity that's very difficult to deal with. You know, whenever you hit a shot good and you end up in a bad spot, because it's just crazy how you end up there.
Right.
You know, this is really bad adversity. See how well he deals with this. If he ends up not doing well in this inning here, next time he's back at the table, that is.
The one thing that's interesting, too, is that adversity does not build character. It reveals character.
Yes.
And so if he's not all flighty and flipping his wrist up in the air and stuff, you're like, oh, I'm so bad. I'm much. See, that's complete positivity. You know, he never, that's the shot he had to play. He played it, and he was rewarded.
Even though he understands the correct shot, which he does, obviously, it doesn't necessarily mean he has to do well with it.
Not at all.
You know, especially with the uncertainties that those type of shots offer here. You know.
Yep. Now he's escaped that dilemma.
And Pagulayan in his chair knows that. You know, saying to himself, you know, what the heck's happening out here, you know? And what's happening is here you're playing a young guy who understands the percentages of the game, and they're working out for him.
Look at that shot.
He may end up behind a ball here.
But still.
He may end up behind a ball. Oh, it got
Look at
good
the class. That is class. To kick out and then make that was an off-angle cross-side bank that you're pretty much betting the game on. Moments ago, Alex thought for sure he's getting back to the table when the cue ball was buried under the 4. Now he's starting to think, well, maybe I can get a chance next game. You know, right?
Yeah.
I
think, but most importantly for Pagulayan, he has to brush off everything that's happening now, because if he allows this to interfere with his thinking process, then he's beaten. Because we really can't cry over spilt milk, can we?
No. No, Alex knows this is really going to be tough.
And this is definitely spilt milk. You know, it's all important what goes forward from here, not what's behind you.
The ball that Gorst made that allowed the cue ball, I think it was the one ball that got the cue ball underneath the 4, was a great shot. And like you were saying, adversity and misfortune. And then he just plays the shot the best he can, makes the ball, and then makes a tough bank. And then now is going to cash it in for a run out.
Exactly.
From nowhere.
In the nature, when you're talking about world-class players that play upper echelon world-class, is that it's not uncommon to fall behind.
Not at all.
Because of the ability of the players you're playing.
Right.
Because they can take full advantage of situations. And it's not uncommon to fall behind. So therefore, if you prepare yourself for that, when you back to the table, then you'll get the maximum out of your game.
Yeah, you have to. At this level, you're not going to lay it. You can't be a quitter. You know, Jason Shaw used to have a little quit in him. Mika Immonen used to have a little quit in him. They fall behind. They were terrible come from behind guys.
Because they feel sorry for themselves.
Right. And then
you
they're
can't
frustrated.
feel sorry for yourself, because it happens to everyone, and it happens often, especially with upper echelon players.
Well put. Yeah, that's the difference of a good professional and an elite professional. Is there is no quit.
It's the difference between a good player and a champion.
Yeah.
Okay, you have to prepare yourself. You're going to face deficits like this a lot.
Right.
You know, you got to be lucky to win in the tournament. You know, to win the tournament, but you got to understand, you know, that it's going to take that type of thinking to get to that point to win.
And be prepared to
You
face
got
this
to be
type
prepared
of thing.
because you're going to face it.
8 ball found the pocket. So
Now
that's
it's your turn at the table.
Did he get a shot?
No, he didn't.
No,
But you know
he-
what? He can kick this in. He can kick this in. It's a low percentage kick. It's not like a high percentage kick, but it's possible.
Do you think he might try the one pocket cross corner bank here on the one and bring the cue ball down, or even save
Either that or try
way?
to kick it in, one of the two.
Oh, you're saying? Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Go in
he
the rail.
might be able to kick it
Oh,
in.
yeah. Okay. You're saying he can just go ahead and cut it in one rail.
No, he played your shot, but I don't know if he did or not. But I didn't think he gave that the respect that he should have.
Yeah.
Because of the results of that shot spoke for itself there. In other words, he didn't hit it with the speed. He hit it with the speed to pocket the one and play shape on the two, but he hit it so poorly, I didn't know if he put much respect into it.
Hard to tell, but I do think that Gorst would have taken another 10 seconds on that same shot. Mentally.
Yeah.
I do think that.
And you have to make up your mind what you're going to do with the shot. And then that'll determine the type of speed you hit the shot with. Because if he went to kick it in, he certainly struck it so poorly. And if he went to bank it, then he struck it poorly in terms of controlling the cue ball with the speed necessary to get back down the other end of the table.
I think that he wasn't committed to either shot.
So I think
he was a little
he's
bit in the middle.
bothered out there.
I'd say.
Obviously.
And look at Gorst. Gorst is playing so well. We're just taking everything for granted, like he's automatic. I mean, his speeds, he's just floating into position. He's on angle.
We'll go back to that situation later on. The score was 6-2. Pagulayan at the table and had that shot.
Well, Gorst might have just got that 9 ball as a slight impediment. I don't know. I think he was thinking he was going to bump it and get more separation than he did. Perhaps not. He's getting out the bridge.
He'll just play soft here and go toward the 9 off the long rail. Mm-hmm. Play a long shot on the 4 and take what the table gives him here. But, he's using the bridge here. He really can't get too spectacular with the bridge. You got to keep it simple.
Right.
The 4 ball is close enough to the corner pocket for him to be able to deal with that length of his shot on the 4. He's walking around. He's taking a look at it. And there's another advantage to how meticulous he is at the table. It's because his runouts take longer. Mm-hmm. And then you, as an opponent, sit in that chair longer.
You get to stew on your last mistake a little longer.
Yeah.
Start to question yourself
so
a little more.
So therefore, that may influence you. Oh my, that was a very rare miss, unexpected too. And, that may influence you when you're at the table to do things quickly. I mean, you don't win any more games than you would if you did things slowly, doing things quickly. I don't understand.
Right.
You don't get 2 Bs for doing something quick. You get 1.
Right.
So you got to play to the pace that got you there.
Okay, Pagulayan comes to the table. Another rail first shot here. Oh boy.
Illegal contact.
Interesting.
Ball in hand.
He was playing to hit it really thin so he could come down below the 4 to play it back up table, but it went too thin. As opposed to, he didn't want to just go for center of the table position there where Gorst was trying to get, which would have been acceptable. He was trying to get the killer position, and in so doing, he missed the entire 3.
Now, Gorst wants to hit the cushion right where his right hand is now. That's where he wants to hit the cushion, right there. I might go into the corner, and that's where he hit it. Right where his right hand was. Now he's got the angle to either draw it and play position for the 5 in the same pocket, maybe go behind the 5, or play the 5 in the other corner. Which is a much better shot, providing he had the angle to do that as comfortably as he did it. That was the better shot.
Well, he certainly had to choose a super soft speed to get that, but it was no problem for him.
And he'll probably just stop the ball there, go 1 cushion toward the 7 after pocketing the 6. He got a little funny here. It looks like.
I kind of thought he might have trickled forward a little bit just to make sure he had the right angle. Here, now he's going to have to kind of stun up there or else play the...
This is not natural. We want to end up with an angle to go naturally to my next ball.
He's drawing one rail back to the center. Good shot. Good shot. And that's taking what the table would give you after you got in that predicament. He didn't compound his position there with another bad shot behind it, trying to force something that wasn't there. So,
but had he gotten good, on the 6, then he would have got much straighter on the 7, which would have put him in better line to drop nicely for the 9.
Right.
He still has some work in front of him here.
Yeah, and that ball that he missed with the bridge is stinging, so I'm sure he's going to really bear down. He's not a guy that misses multiple balls.
So he still has some work there. See, those shots were kind of misleading. They were more difficult than you would think because you had to control the cue ball well. And you want to make sure you control not only the direction the cue ball goes, but the speed of the cue ball. So there's a lot of things going through your head when you're shooting that type of a shot with the angle he was on. And
he just hit it slightly too thin, and you know that ball drops on a 4.5 by 9.
Yeah,
it looks clean, so, but not on the 5 by 10, and that's why this is so much of a better test for pro players.
And this is the reprieve Pagulayan needed, by the way.
Yeah,
this is something that he desperately needed because he wasn't able to take advantage of it twice now.
Right.
So therefore, this was like given to him. Maybe this will wake him up now because he hasn't really played well the last couple times he's been at the table. 6-3 now.
What a difference that is, too. 7-2 and 6-3, this juncture. Gorst is now in danger of dropping below 900. He's at 901.
Gorst going to rack the balls here in preparation to breaking them. Do you like this rotate the break? Is that how they're playing? Rotate the break?
Yeah, old school once again. I still like when Bustamante ran 7 racks on the 10-footer, which you will never get to see, but it definitely keeps the matches closer, I would say.
It certainly does. I'm a proponent of the alternate break. I kind of like alternate break, because of that reason. I like closer matches. I think it's a fair trade-off to watch closer matches because that brings a lot more excitement into it. Yeah, it's always great to see someone run 5-6 racks, but it's a boring match sometimes.
Yeah.
Other than that.
Yeah, right.
When you get a close match, it really tells you a lot about the character of the players.
True
because
story.
Can you perform in crunch time when it's close? And you see that a lot more with alternate break.
Yep. Yeah, well, it's better for the fans, I would say. Although some are like me that like to see. I don't know. I'm ambivalent. Historically, I currently always play alternate the break these days. So I guess it's kind of an antiquated rule.
And another thing is this about alternate break. When you're playing on equipment or under conditions where the break is just monstrous, you may not ever get to the table. I've seen that happen in a couple tournaments. And it's such an injustice for the player that's really prepared himself.
Yeah.
He's playing well. He's prepared himself to win this tournament. He comes to the finals. He sits in his chair the whole match.
Right.
Come on now. That's not fair.
Right.
In football, you score, you got to kick off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In basketball, you make the basket, the other team gets the ball. In baseball, you make 3 outs, the other team gets up.
Right.
In pool, the other team does never have to give up, and you play win or break.
Yeah.
Something wrong with that.
Yeah, we agree. Listen to this, Billy. Gorst made a ball on the break and then made the classiest of safeties. He had to move that cue ball from way over here, 1 rail behind the 5. And look at the 1 ball was exposed, so he made a great shot to get that cue ball where it was at.
Now he'll hit this with a little more speed here. Wow, he kicked it in. He kicked it in. The Filipinos can kick their off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
They sure can.
So this is making something from nothing here. He played that shot all the way, knowing that he could get a great result with it.
Yeah, he's got a lot more energy out there. You can see in his demeanor now.
Yeah.
He's walking around the table like, it's like that, he's got that extra burst of energy.
Mm-hmm.
He hit that a little too softly. He wanted to end up straight in on the 3. See, now he's got, that's not ideal. It would have been ideal had he ended up straight on the 3. He would have then be able to get the correct angle on the 5 to drop for the 6. Now he's got to do extra traveling with the cue ball. He has to end up on the angle to cut the 5 to his right, so he can go cross table for the 6. They don't want to get too straight now.
Yeah, he went a little far.
Yeah, a little further than he wanted, and he has to stretch. So this is a problem. The angler plays a little awkwardly. You have to stretch. He's going to get the extension. So therefore, this takes a lot away from the feel of the shot. Had he come up a little shorter than that, about 6 inches, he would have been able to reach it. He would have had an ideal angle to go cross table, and the out would have been relatively simple. Now it's complicated because he fell short on the 3.
He's thinking about just drawing back to the side pocket and playing the 6 to the other side of the 10 that we were thinking he was.
Look how he's going to stretch and do that. Wow. The 6 goes in the lower left?
Yes.
I didn't even think it. I didn't think it went in the lower left.
He went and looked at it, so I could tell that was. So that was a good decision, and boy, he got a lot of effect out of that for how soft he hit the ball too.
You know, that's good cuemanship again. He's able to hit that cue ball precisely where he needs to hit it to get the type of action he anticipates. And that's why you see a lot of these players, when they go through the cue ball so softly and they get good action with the cue ball, because they get that, hit that cue ball in the sweet spot, you know, to get that action.
Staggered that in there. Yeah.
Easy, come on. He's getting a little out of line. He got out of line on the 3, got out of line on the 5 a little bit.
He hit it heavy.
9.
He hit it heavy and still went too far. So that tells you he's all messed up on his speeds. And,
yeah, he's still not playing well. He's playing roughly out there. But let's see if he can get the ball skidded on him. Looked like that ball skidded a little bit.
And he's tenacious. He's going to have to win with his B game. He recognizes it, but he's not quit at all. He carves through a real tough rack to get back.
Yeah, 6-4 now.
And just what you said, you can see his energy picked up. He's been knocked down before. He comes back in these matches. And just because he's down 6-2, there's no sign of quit whatsoever.
Somebody's got to pick up his speed. He's not going to win this match playing the speed he's playing right now. He got through that rack. But if he continues to play the speed he's playing now, falling short on shots, getting off angle on a 5x10, it's going to get him.
Yeah.
It's going to get him, and he's not going to win this match. He's got to get to his A game to win from this position.
Well, we've seen him do it many a time before. That's the one thing I love about it. If you bet on him, he's never going to not play it all the way through. You know, you've got a good horse that way.
Yeah.
Bustamani's that way.
Yeah. When he's prepared to play in the tournament, there are tournaments he comes to that he's not totally prepared. But when you come to the Derby City, you better be prepared to play.
Yeah.
Because you're looking at a lot of players, and a lot of those players are the best in the world.
Yeah.
Because that's what comes here to the Derby City.
Yeah.
So therefore, I know he's prepared for this tournament, but can he recapture the speed that he knows he's playing with?
Uh-oh. Dry break? Yeah.
Yeah, well, he doesn't have a clean shot on the 1. Kind of like similar to the shot Pagulayan had in rack number 9. When he banked that 1, kick banked it and kind of fell short.
Yeah, when you look really carefully, I do kind of like that cross corner 1 pocket bank rail first hit on this shot because it lets you have that pace. If you hit the 1 little square and it doesn't bank in, you get between the 6 and the 4 and it goes all the way down table.
And if he happens to pocket at the 2's at the end of the table too,
right?
In this situation,
yeah, you wouldn't play it if you can't get out, if you can't win with it. But I'm just saying you have to play something. I like it a lot better than pushing out.
Extension.
They're going in between that 4 and the 6 is an automatic after contacting the 1 here. So he may end up, if he draws a little bit, he may end up hitting the 4.
I'm saying the bank, though, on the 1.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, he went for the pocket.
He's going to get lucky here. Nope, no, he didn't. He's got a shot on the 1. And he's definitely going for the pocket here. This is the type of a shot that he figures to hit reasonably well. A little bit of outside English should send him toward that side pocket, but long. And he doesn't want to put too much spin on it. He may go in the side. Yeah, you don't want to put too much spin on this shot. And he's got such tremendous accuracy, Mark. And he'll hit this shot well. And he'll hit it with good speed. End up on the bottom rail. If he misses it, he may end up hooking Gorst.
Beautiful shot. Just the way you called it. Went long of the side pocket.
But he's gotten himself pretty awkward on the 2. If you look at the 3-ball position at the end of the table, he doesn't have anything going forward. He has to go back.
Yeah.
I don't think he has an ideal angle to go back in spin-up table. So he's really got some work here. He may have to go forward 2 cushions in between the 9-10, and that's an awful lot to ask.
Yeah, it's a pretty narrow window at the approach angle.
I don't think he can get there by drawing the ball. And he wants to go forward. He knows he's got a lot of problems going forward.
He measured up your shot.
Yeah, he's ended up in a real bad spot here. You know, if anything, I think he's got to go forward just to end up with a shot on the 3, to either play the cue ball behind the 4-6, or the you know he can play shape off on the 3 to play a hook here.
Sometimes you can play cross corner banks here too, because you're going to get safe with it. Yeah, see what I'm saying? If he doesn't rattle it there, he's got a way to make it. So
yeah, well, if you want to get out, if you're just insisting on trying to run out, that's the shot to get out, because obviously he couldn't pocket the 2 in the intended pocket and then play position for the 3 to get out. But he could have pocketed the 2 and played shape on the 3 to drop the cue ball behind the 4-6.
True that.
He could have done that.
True that.
Okay?
Yep.
I don't know if he even thought about that. Sometimes when you're trailing, you just think about running out as opposed to, you know.
That was a heady shot, because just looking at it, I could see that if he plays cross corner, there's a real good chance you can get safe with it there and get the cue ball down table.
Yeah, I agree. What a stroke. He's going to end up scratching
Look
here.
at that nice shot.
He's going to end up scratching here. Oh, that was a really ill-fated there that he ended up scratching like he did there.
Such an effortless, smooth stroke to have that much action on there.
It's just to hit that ball with the stroke that he hit it with. You know, with the feet in itself.
That's somebody that's hitting the balls every day, because you got to hit the micro dot on the edge of the ball to get that type of action. You know, you can't just cobble your tip down there and try to get it back there. So, but hey, this is what Pagulayan needed, and this is kind of what makes it fun to watch too, to see these turns of events.
So all that stuff, that negativity that may have gone through his mind about possibly him getting bad rolls or Gorst getting good rolls, he should dismiss all that now because of what transpired the last couple wrecks. So it's all on him now.
Yeah, he's kind of, he knows he's falling a little flat here. Now he's got to kind of manufacture an angle once again. He's gotten 2 straight on the last few shots. Oh, that's cold-blooded if he gets behind the 10.
No, he's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, he's fine in terms of in regard to pocketing the 6, I mean. Can the 6 pass the 9 into the pocket he's standing over?
No, the 7. That's
the 7. That is
the 7 next to the 9.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he's just gonna roll down to the center of the table, or 2 rails towards the center. But I think
2 rails are so difficult.
Right.
You know, I mean, that's really difficult because he's got to hit it so pure, and he's got to have good cue ball speed. He's going to try to go down 1 rail if possible. Oh, that way he had a good angle. He had a decent. Oh my. Oh, what did he do? I don't think he can make it. Can he make it? It doesn't look like he can make it from here.
I don't think so. I think he can hit the high side of it is all.
I don't think he can make it. He may be able to jump over the 10 a little bit. But it looks like he can make it.
Yeah, he could. Boy, from here, it looked like he could only hit the edge of it.
Yeah, it didn't really it was deceiving us there.
Well, I don't think there was ample room. I think there was just enough room. He made it look easy. Gorst is now looking at his bridge hand, relaxing.
I mean, he would like to go back here. Let me see. Does he have the angle to go straight back?
Yeah, he's drawing.
Yes, he does. So this match is going to be real close right now, 6-5. At one time, it could have been 7-2.
Oh, yeah.
And he missed that ball.
Well, that's world-class pool. One inning oftentimes separates the players.
6-5.
Excuse me. Oh, there it is, Pagulayan. Absolutely no quit, thus the nickname, the Lion.
Oh, and, the best of your recollection, what did Gorst do after he missed that one ball when the score was 6-2? Remember I said to you, it all depends on how he handles that adversity. When he missed the ball, he got himself hooked behind the 4. He made that nice shot on the 2. After that, what mistakes did he make? You remember?
No, I do not.
I don't either. I'm kind of wondering if I know that he must have made a mistake or so after that. I was kind of wondering that.
Well, he still has a 1-game lead, and he's performed quite well. So there's no sense to be alarmed here. He's just going to have to play his game. Good square hit.
5 in the side, 4 in the side, 8 in the corner, 3 in the side. Pocketed 4 balls on the break. He does have a back cut on the 1. The 2 balls in the center of the table. Back cutting the 1 sends the cue ball sort of like toward the 2. With the speed that if he bypasses it, he's going to end up near the end rail.
Right.
This is the speed that I see that he has for this angle that he has. You know, I think if he back cuts the 1, the cue ball will miss-hit the 2 to the left, and the cue ball will go down toward the end rail. No, he has to make some sort of an adjustment here to control the cue ball, I believe.
Big shot here in this match.
The adjustment was to hit it thickly.
But I think he introduced a little left and it squirted a little bit there because he did hit it a little bit thick. And he was trying to hold up the cue ball, and sometimes we try to hit balls a little heavier to take pace out of the cue ball. But then that
What
doesn't
kind
allow
of a
the ball
shaft
to
is
go
he
in.
playing with?
It's one of those carbon.
Okay,
I don't
how
know.
much deflection do you get with those carbon shafts?
Very little.
So therefore,
Right.
with that left English, you said he got that deflection?
The
I don't know
squirt.
about that.
Yeah, true story. True story. Oh, it's a Q-Tech.
I know that
Carbon fiber.
Q-Tech makes an excellent carbon fiber shaft. I'm actually thinking about getting one myself because I had to blame my missus on something.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes. Yeah, he didn't want to let that cue ball get loose, which that thin cut was going to require, so he ended up introducing a little side spin and then tried to hit it as heavy as he could to take pace out of the cue ball.
And sometimes you overcompensate. And, you know, I think he was somewhat guilty of that.
Yeah, but here's Pagulayan back, and he's starting to get kind of invigorated with confidence back, too. He's seeing that he could win this match still.
And a true tell on that would be the speed of the cue ball, how well he stays in line. You know, not so much his accuracy, because he's going to have good accuracy, but when you start getting out of line, that creates problems with your accuracy. So therefore, if he's able to stay in line, his ball hitting will be much better as the racks go on. And if he can stay in line, that's what it's all about, particularly on the 5x10. And this match soon will be tied up at 6 apiece, Mark.
Yeah, what a match we got going on here. I'm loving it.
And now he's really feeling. What a difference these last few racks have meant for Pagulayan. I mean, if we could put a meter on him, a happy meter, a content meter, that meter would go up to the most contentful spot on the meter right now.
The score is tied, but somehow Pagulayan feels like he's slightly favored now.
Yeah, absolutely.
He feels
like
good,
I'm winning this match.
Yeah,
I'm winning this match.
Well, I always tell players this too. You're not going to win a tournament like this and just go wire to wire. If you can't steal a match from 6-2 behind, you're not going to win one of these tournaments. As simple as that. So you might as well get yourself ready for it. Just because you think about it doesn't mean you always do it, but it definitely gives you, when you get the opportunities like Pagulayan's now received, you can cash them in.
When you're behind 6-2 playing alternate break, there's a long, long road ahead of you. So you're going to have some good things happen for you, and you're going to have to take advantage of them.
Well, here we go. Going to have a shot. So that was a productive break.
Okay, now this 7's tied up with the 10. The 6 is there to open them up. The 2 is there to open them up.
The 7 will pass.
It will?
Yeah, you don't. If you don't bump it, no. Here you can see on the overhead.
Okay. See, from my angle, looking at the table, it didn't appear.
Yeah, we're talking about these balls down there. There's just enough room, I believe. But we still got to get there before we worry about that anyway. Good speed.
Yep.
Just draw back, a foot and a half, and try to get the nice 2-rail angle on the 3 to go right at the 4.
Let me bring up a point here.
Yes.
Going from the 4 to the 6 to get the right angle to drop for the 7 isn't automatic. So therefore, that's going to make you want to maybe possibly go into him off the 2, play position for the 3 a little bit. But since he's ended up with this angle, we can forget about that.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, that could have been a possible.
He's now looking at going forward just a little bit. Yeah, he didn't hit the pocket the way he anticipated. He did get there, I believe.
He wants to end up with an angle on the 4 to cut to his left slightly and then draw the ball back down table for the 6, that is. But he wants to get closer to the 4. He doesn't want a long shot by any means.
Center of the table.
Okay, this is not ideal, but he's got the right angle. Because you can draw this into the pocket here,
Now he's going to have Ken Schumann remove the rack, and it definitely looks tricky to do it and leave him in the exact right position here. That's interesting. Look at, he's got a lot going on there. Oh, my nerves are good enough for that.
I don't think he did a good job with that.
All of a sudden, the 7's frozen to the 10.
No, it won't go. Kidding.
No, I think he did do a good job. It ended up good.
This is the key shot right here. He wanted to make sure he didn't scratch in that corner.
Beautiful.
See, but now he's a little out of line here. You see? That's the problem. Yeah. I said there's no guarantee going from the 4 to the 6 that you're going to get a good shot on the 6 to drop for the 7 because it's a little tricky. If you don't get the correct angle, I think he may have to go around the table here.
He's just rolling. Boy, he held that better than I thought he could.
And now he's not out of the woods yet because he would like to have a slight angle to cut the 6 to his, or 7, excuse me, to his right, hit the bottom rail and then go toward the 9.
Yeah, he's 2 rails forward here, I think, isn't he? No, maybe not. Keep measure.
He must be too straight on the 6 or the 7 to do that.
Boy, he had to really pop that to even get that much. So that tells you how straight he was.
And he's not really ideal on the 9 either.
He hit that harder than any of the shots that he's hit all throughout the match there. And still the cue ball only traveled 7 feet or 6 feet. And this is a missable ball here because that pocket plays tight if you have to go with any power. Yeah, go with effective backspin so he can, he's right in that in-between zone.
I'll give it to him that his speed has picked up some, but it isn't where he wants it.
Yeah.
I tell you, it's not where he wants it. He's not comfortable at the table. He's much more comfortable now than he was 3 racks ago. But he's not really feeling it.
That was a great shot. Yeah. That was not laying all that easy to get the cue ball to do that.
I'm coming home, but I'm taking the long route.
Tremendous pool here. Boy, he had to do a lot with that rack, so good job. Gorst is going to take a short break.
Time out.
Okay, everybody, Gorst is at the table. We're back from the short break. 7-6 is our score. Race to 11. Gorst is breaking. Come on, the 4 and 5 here.
Here's the 4.
4 found the pocket. Cue ball centered up nicely. Looks like he's going to have a good shot.
Nice. Let's take a look at where the 2 is. The 2 is positioned on the other end of the table to the left of the foot spot near the corner pocket. But the 6 and the 7 are interfering balls in front of the 2. So he's going to have to find a spot for the cue ball away from those interfering balls to pocket the 2. He may have to go forward here unless he draws toward the 3. If he can draw toward the 3 and hit the 3, he'll be fine.
I think he might try to go between the 9 and 3 here and just 2 cushion it, side rail, side rail. Got to have good speed for this.
Exactly. And he's got to bypass that 3 so he doesn't end up over it, which he's done.
Yeah.
Barely, but he did it.
And that part of it was just a little bit out of his control. He just wanted to make sure he got that angle, and then maybe the speed that he had to choose to get that angle with the cue ball departing the 1 ball was such that it just led here, and he was just going to have to accept what he had.
And this is a tough shot coming up here. He's got to be precise here.
That's a nice hit.
He wants to stay. Oh, he's gone down a little bit too far. But you got a shot in the corner, though.
Yeah, that's a nice hit because he was going to be able to defend himself even if he got weird on this ball. And as it turned out, this is just about ideal.
If he puts this down, he should be able to run out.
Mm-hmm.
This is to beat the big shot of the rack here.
Just kind of wants to get back to the head string here. I don't think preserve the angle. So it's just a diamond and a half a draw. Well, he ran over the head string there, but just a little bit. Quite good.
He's got to be careful here. He wants to get close to the 6 here. But not so close that the 7's a possible interfering ball. Well, he's going to the other side, which is probably the better route to take, especially if you end up with the angle that he's ended up on. Well, maybe a little bit too much of an angle, I don't know. From our vantage point, sometimes it's hard to determine if the angle that we see is the angle that he has. It looks like the angle that I see, he's going to have to do a little extra traveling with the cue ball. And, you know, maybe go to the side rail, the long rail, and back out.
Right.
You know, and that's not going to be that easy. You have to make sure. He looks like he's just trying to draw and sticking around. Let's see what he does. And that's what he did. See, he's gone down a little. Well, I guess he's okay.
Yeah, that played great that way. Getting to the side rail was good. And he knew he'd be a little bit longer, but he'd have his bridge hand down free.
You can go two ways here. You can go forward or you can draw it back. Your ball parking percentage is much better drawing it. And that's the correct side of the 8 ball to stay on, too, because this shot is a lot easier to feel the speed of the cue ball with, and you're always on the right side of the 9 ball with this shot.
Great.
Really wasn't that much suspense in this rack as there were in the last few racks.
Yeah.
A lot of intricate play for Pagulayyan in the last couple racks. This rack, once he got onto the 2 and then the 3, it was pretty much over.
2 cushion route here, side rail, side rail. And once he leaves that cushion, it's all good.
Yeah, you definitely want to hit the second cushion. It'll just about guarantee you don't end up on the cushion. I mean, this match, start up.
Beautiful break and run out there.
Now Pagulayyan will be opening up the balls in game 15.
7-7's our score.
And if it goes to Hill, it'll be Pagulayyan that'll be the player that'll be breaking the balls. Just thought I'd throw that out there.
He initiated the match with a break and run out, then maybe he would like to close the match with a break and run out. But we got to get there yet. It's a race to 4 from here. Look at the rack track on the screen down there. There was a series of 6 games by GORST, and then Pagulayyan retaliated with 5.
15th rack. Alex breaking. 7 apiece.
Just to the left of the center of the table for Pagulayyan's cue ball. 5 and 8, right behind the 1.
That's the cue ball. Watch the cue ball. That's something that is a momentum stopper for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And at this stage of the match, it's a pretty crucial time in the match. You really got to play your best game right now because you got to hold service on your break. And I don't think he's going to be doing that this rack. Two to 3 to the 4 to the 6 to the 7 to the 8. Yeah, there's another readable rack here.
Mm-hmm. Right. And I like the way you said that because you didn't indicate like it's automatic, because there's a lot of things that have to go right here, but there's a lot of things that can go right. So we'd certainly bet on him to get him, but it's not a foregone conclusion.
He wants to play the 2 in the side pocket he's standing over. He's got to get down further. I don't know. I think he's fallen a little short there, Mark.
Definitely. And you'd rather err a little bit to the long side because you can still go to the end rail and come at now that you got to negotiate a lot of clutter.
This is a little tricky here. I don't
know if we can get the overhead real quick, but if we can, this is the shot that, if he has to come down here and back through, and he might even introduce some side spin to go at the 9 here. It's a second cushion.
Or maybe he could do this. Maybe he can go right down there, like down there. But now he went your way.
Okay, great shot.
Very well executed. Yeah, he got a little tricky on the 2, but resilient enough to overcome it, to come back, make an excellent shot on the 2.
Mm-hmm.
Drop nicely for the 3.
Yeah, and the audience applauded. They recognized that was a good shot
very
to
nice
get
shot.
the cue ball over there.
Had he come down for the 2 another inch, one small inch, he wouldn't have had it done that.
What is Billy Incardona's opinion of the 10-foot table, 10-ball, this type of a tournament? Do you think this is a much better test? Do you enjoy it, or would you rather have the action of the 9-foot table?
No, I enjoy this because the 10-foot table offers you a lot more excitement because you have to have a lot more precision play, you know? And I think that's appreciated and respected as well.
Yeah.
You know?
At this level, I think we need that. You know, to me, that I think this should be the standard.
Of course, you have to be a true a pool fan,
Yes.
you know?
Yeah, for pure entertainment,
yeah.
probably the fast action of the 9-footer. But for me, a purist,
Yes.
I love this.
Yes.
But then just like we were saying, it's not a foregone conclusion, and then one ball later, he has to make a great shot.
But the problem
Which he
is,
did.
there's not enough tournaments on the 5x10 simply because there's not enough 5x10s in the country.
No, it's a true story.
You know?
Yeah.
And the reason for that is because of the space they take up.
Yeah.
Watch out. I think he's going to be okay.
Yeah, if there was demand, though, the space would be okay. It's just that when there's not demand, you can put 2 bar tables in the same place. You know, but if there was demand, people would have them. I have one in my house. I don't know if you knew that or not.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, since 1980. Good shot. The masters of the game all learned on it. Moscone, Greenleaf, Crane, Garris. So
well,
I
in
was figuring I
Philadelphia,
should, so.
they had the, you know, what was it, Allingers in Philadelphia? And nothing but the 5x10s. you
Right.
know.
Up until the mid-50s, that was the standard. That was the 4.5x9 of that era.
You know, and that's what they played on. They played on the 5x10.
So after starting with ball in hand, he did have to struggle a little bit here, but he's going to go ahead and reassert himself in this match with the lead.
And, you know, Pagulayan went right in the side.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, that's an indication that you're not bearing down on that break.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
I don't know if you can call that carelessness. I don't think he was responsible
About
breaking the balls.
ring rust. Is that possible?
What's that?
Ring rust. You know, where a
Ring
boxer
rust?
hasn't had a fight for a while.
No. That's not good. No.
All right. Just a thought.
I understand that, but no, because he has been breaking the balls prior to that 7 times, right?
Yep.
And he never came close to scratching the side.
Yeah, true that.
You know?
But we both know how easy it is to dunk it in there. If you just flicker your brain for a moment
Well,
there,
I
it can
watched
get away from you.
I watched Torcula. Well, of course, it was on a 4.5x9, but I watched Torcula last night breaking the balls. He played a match.
Yeah, I saw.
in the action room,
Yeah.
and he hit the break the same way every time.
Oh, yeah.
Every time.
Yeah.
Every time.
But that's not ring rust. He's out there in combat. Maybe Alex hasn't been as much in combat recently, too. But
I'm not going to give him that benefit of the
All
doubt.
right.
I'm
Yeah,
not going
and I
to do
agree.
that. No.
all right, here we are, 8-7. And like my wife, karaoke Kathy, says, if you don't like that, you must be something wrong with you. If you don't like that, there must be something wrong with you.
Ain't good.
Nothing.
I don't know if he can even hit the one. He may have got hooked entirely here. But then again, from our vantage point and my bad eyes,
It's hard to tell. Ken Schumann had to bend over to look, and he's close range. But, well, he definitely thinks he can hit it, so he's measuring it up. He's not even thinking about whether he can hit it. He's thinking about how he's going to hit it.
if he can hit the outside of the 1 to position the cue ball behind the 10, that's what he'll do. But if he can't hit that side of the 1, get behind the 10 may be a problem. See? You know, he left Pagulayan the ability to hit the 1 ball here. I don't know how much of the 1 he can hit. he can hit enough of the one to sort of like stun it in a sense, the cue ball behind the 4, where he can bank it out of there, drop that cue ball behind the 4, that would be the shot. But that hit requires a perfectly struck ball.
Yeah, it sure does. It does look like he has that. Looks like that's what he's going for. Good shot. But he didn't quite get the cue ball behind the 4,
No,
did he?
he didn't cut it enough.
Certainly left length, however.
I don't believe he can hit the 1. Can he hit the 1?
Doesn't appear so. In the overhead, anyway. Even if he could hit the 1, it's hard to play safe because the cue ball is going to be tracking at the 9 and 10. He's jacked up. I'm not sure what he's measuring a half jump or something. Yeah. Yeah, he does not like it at all. I can tell that.
Yeah, how much of the 1 can he hit, if he can hit it at all? And it appears that he can hit a part of it, but like you said, if he can only hit a part of it, he can't control the cue ball. And the cue ball will be tracking right toward the 9.
Really slightly elevating. So it's either a half mass A, maybe. Yeah, soft speed mass A. No, I think that's going to work.
Wait a second. It's close.
Yeah.
It's close.
Let's see here.
Pagulayan's looking. I don't know. He's not really, his body language suggests that he can't make it. He's looking again.
Yeah.
He might have to masse it, twirl a little bit.
Oh, good shot.
When you twirl like that and you have to spin it with the speed that he hit it with, don't you have deflection going on there?
Yeah, sure.
So it was hard to gauge that, and control that type of a hit with accuracy.
Yeah. Alex is walking a little more now here in the match.
Well,
He's checking things a little more carefully, too.
And he's got to take more steps because he's smaller.
Yeah, he wants to get this match back tied up.
Looks like he's in fine shape here, though. He hit that a little too hard. He would have liked to end up at slightly the other angle.
Right.
Now he's got to go to the rail with a little inside English. Unless he wants to come back 3 or 4 inches and take that long shot on the 7.
I think that's what he'll do.
See, he didn't have the angle that I thought he had. I thought he had to cut that to the right.
Okay. Yeah, this is reasonable. There's no sense trying to go anywhere but here. Take this angle.
Ooh. Yeah. That was close.
I'm of the feeling that he's not going to make a maximum in snooker today. He's not hitting the pocket quite as pure as that requires. Good shot there.
Yeah. Once again, it's going to be tied up.
Yes.
And once again, he'll be breaking the balls. If the match is tied, he'll be breaking the balls.
The Lion trailed 6-2 at one point. Now has rallied back. It's 8-8.
You can bet he won't scratch inside this rack.
Rack 17. Alex to bring.
All right, just to the right of the head spot. So slightly. 6 and 7 right behind the 1. Here we go. Yeah, he squared him up much better than 7. Did he get a shot? I don't think so. Don't think so.
I don't know. I don't think so either. This is a tough situation here.
Yeah.
You know, there isn't anywhere really you can push.
Right.
You may have to kick. You may have to push for a kick.
Right. Maybe we can get the overhead real quick, Billy. You could diagram it.
Well, let's
there
take
we go. There we
okay.
go.
If the corner has precluded him from kicking here, he would like to kick to this rail, hit the 1, sending the 1 in the cue ball over here somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay? Because he doesn't have a shot or a situation where he can push to play a safety. I think he's going to have to kick here.
Okay. Well, he can hit it. Oh, did he hit it on the way in?
Is that a foul?
Yeah, I guess so.
That's a foul.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And look at the open layout here.
I don't understand that. I mean...
He thought he could... Yeah, I'm not sure where he was going because...
we have an overhead, please?
At the speed of these
the reason
drives.
possibly why he tried to thin this ball because of the position of the 5 ball. Had he thinned this ball and went over here and the cue ball even escaped over here, he wouldn't have had a pocket. So that may have been just enough to persuade him to shoot that type of a shot with a small risk that was involved. But the risk became large once he missed the ball.
Yeah.
You know, it was too large of a risk, obviously, after that.
Yeah, it wasn't a naked safety. I see your point. That's a really good point to mention there because that contributed to his decision to go for it.
Give him the necessary security that he needed to shoot that type of a shot because he was in a tough spot.
Yeah.
You know, the only other option he had was to kick at that time.
I sort of thought he could push out a little bit out of the pocket and still use the 6 ball as a blocker and push to a kick there and have a little cleaner kick. But
yeah, well, he can push to
a kick.
Yeah, but if the point didn't have him, there was no reason for him to do that.
Yeah, right.
He's just going to have to work his way back into the match because it looks like he's going to fall behind at 9-8 here. Going from the... Is that the 6 up there?
Yes.
Okay, going from the 6 to the 8 is going to be the answer here. And if he doesn't have a good angle on the 5 to get off that rail far enough to control that cue ball comfortably, it could present him a problem going from the 6 to the 8.
A lot of guys like to draw all the way back on this one, hit the end rail. No, he didn't.
Well, he had a good angle. That's why he did that.
Yeah.
See, once again, from our vantage point, we really can't determine what type of an angle he really does have. If he could have got away from that side rail, which he did, then he doesn't have to draw all the way back.
Yeah,
but now he can stay on that nice angle, you know. But this is the correct angle. He'll want to go toward the side pocket, but of course he doesn't want to come too close to the side pocket. But he wants to stay in between the side and the 9 ball. He wants to bypass it and go in between the side and the 9 ball, which he's done, and he hit it perfectly.
Once again, beautiful speed, beautiful cueing action, so fluid getting through the ball. See Scott Frost sitting here ringside as Gorst is playing. That cueing action would serve Scott Frost well. I'm sure he's taking that in. He talked about it last night in the commentary.
Oh, yeah? Oh, he did commentary with you yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. And of course, just going to reassert himself here with a 1-game lead. 9 games to 8. Yeah, sharply contested. That's how I would phrase it. Dennis was playing Little John last night. Is that correct?
Yeah. Give him an outrageous handicap, but winning surprisingly, I thought. But now, I guess it wasn't surprisingly, because the guy never misses a ball.
Yeah.
You know, he's just a machine. And it wears on a guy whenever you're playing a guy that never misses a ball. Because you can go into a match with the best of it in your mind and perform well.
Yeah.
But if you're playing a machine, and I mean really, truly, in the true sense of the word, if you're playing a machine, then your mindset changes.
Yeah, right.
And then your speed drops, and now you can't win.
Right.
You know?
Yes.
And that's how he was playing Okolo.
Yeah.
Like a machine.
Yeah. Preeke used to do that too. Okay, Gorst breaking and leading 9-8. Good square break. Got a little rub on the one.
Watch, he's going to scratch.
Oh,
he's going to scratch.
Unfortunate.
But this only adds to the excitement of the match. It's 9-8. Pagulayyan now has an opportunity at the table to tie it up 9 apiece. Take a look from the 1 to the 2. And that's right. He's going to play the 2 in this side. Excuse me, the corner. Play position for the 3 in the side. He would like to get a straight in shot on the 3 in the side. And from the 3 to the 5 to the 6 to the 7 to the 8, he should get out. He should be a huge favorite to get out from here. He's got a nice angle on the 2 to spin around the 10-9 to the side rail. Hit that middle diamond with the cue ball. End up near the center of the table for the 3 in the side. Speed is important, but not crucial.
Quality shot.
Falling a little bit short because he would have liked to just shot the 3 and stick, but now he may have to go to the end rail. But the position of the 5 makes this shot play a lot more comfortable. See, that's what I was telling you about. His speed has been off. You know, the entire match, his speed has been off.
Well, there you can
Even
see
on
he
that
jumped
shot,
up.
his speed was off.
Well, he jumped up.
This shot here should be hit with a little center left. Staying on this side of the table. Left English, boom, come back up. And he's a little
straight,
He's a little straight. He wanted some type of an angle, and now he's got that slight angle where he has to cut it slightly to the left. He wants to stay. Now he's got to follow it. That'll put him closer to the 7. He's going to hit this accurately. And once again, he didn't get where he wanted. He's real thin on the 7. He wanted to be thicker on the 7. It'll put him closer to the 8. Now he's going to have to thinly cut the 7, which will give him a longer shot on the 8. And he can spin it, but he has to be careful with that side pocket.
Okay, now he got close to the side pocket because he hit the pocket so rough with that ball. He barely made that ball over there. So, worked out great.
They're going to be tied up, it looks like, Mark, 9 apiece. He got back up on the shot, says, I don't like the angle. He can't go forwards. We'll have to go back if he doesn't like the angle. No, he went forward.
A little different angle.
Yeah, I thought by his body language, he had the other angle that would send him closer to 10.
Yeah.
But evidently he didn't.
Alex PAGULAYAN has taken his B game and got himself 9 wins out of this match, courtesy of the unfortunate kiss on the cue ball during Fedor GORST break.
Yes.
9-9 is our score.
And, you know, they have traded racks on the other player's break. In other words, they've won on not their break, but their opponent's break. Think the last 4 racks.
Right, there's a good look at the rack track. PAGULAYAN opened up 2-0, then GORST rallied with, what is that, 6 consecutive? Yeah, then PAGULAYAN with a flurry of 5 and then 2, alternate thereafter. That's how we got to 9-9.
So, you know, PAGULAYAN obviously is a fairly big favorite from here, because if they alternate from here in games 1, PAGULAYAN wins. Providing PAGULAYAN wins this game. Excuse me.
Oh, cue ball.
He almost scratched inside. Yeah. He got a kiss on that 1. He does have a bank on the 1. I don't know if he has a bank on the 1. Yeah, he has a bank on the 1. But the 2 may not be able to pass the 4.
It's certainly not an automatic bank on the 1 at all. He's going to manipulate it just a little bit. It's a makeable bank, but it's almost like you have to bank to get to a bank if you play it.
You think so?
Well, I'm saying, you know,
if the 2 doesn't pass, but if the 2 passes, he can bank and stick.
Yeah, I don't think the 2. Well, maybe it does. Yeah, I could easily be wrong about that. I was thinking he was at the bank cross corner on the 2. No, he's playing safe. Yeah, I actually like that better.
Yeah, obviously the 2 may not have been passed.
Yeah,
May not have been able to pass the 4.
he wasn't in the mood to monkey around with a bank to try to get position on a tough shot. So,
Well, this is such a big game for whoever wins it.
look how hard this kick
scores
is.
9 games apiece, and whoever gets on the hill first from here, their opponent has to win 2 consecutive games. So, you know, this is a tremendously big game. This is the biggest game of the match up to this point.
And look how he's got GORST starting. This is much like back in the very first rack or second rack of the match when PAGULAYAN put the stranglehold on him a couple times early. There's nothing to play here. GORST is maybe thinking of taking a foul even. That's how good the safety is. You have to consider taking an intentional foul.
To do what?
To tie up a couple balls over here, maybe the 5 and the 6, or no good.
Illegal contact.
He made it even easier.
Well,
Kind of.
he had good intentions there. It just didn't work out. But
The 2 must not be able to pass then if he did that.
right.
If he did that, I don't believe it 2 passes. And since PAGULAYAN took a look at that 3-ball combination, that's another indication that the 2 won't pass. Because if he's saying, I hope this 3-ball combination is on because the 2 don't pass.
Right. Right.
You know?
Right.
And he's going to have to play by underneath the 1 and play the 2 position for the 2 in the upper corner.
He's definitely doing that. I'm just saying, if the 2 doesn't pass, he doesn't like it, he can still shoot the 1 ball down by the 2 and pin the cue ball to the 7. And just hope that Fedor doesn't kick it and hit it and get separation.
But that's always so difficult to do when you have ball in hand and knowing that if you do fall on the 2, you're going to win this game.
Right. Yeah, if you can get out, you naturally want to play it, and that's definitely what he's doing. He's playing to win the game right here.
He's played for the combination.
Yes, he is.
Oh, I don't know about that shot. I don't think I would have played for the combination because not only does he have to pocket the combination, he has to control the 2 ball. You know, and sometimes it's difficult to control the 2 ball, especially if the angle isn't natural for you to draw for position off of the combination. And if you try to force it, you quite often miss the combination. Now he's got to make another combination. This isn't what he planned.
Okay.
This isn't what he planned.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he didn't play position for the 2 in another pocket.
I almost think he would have been better served to pin the cue ball to the 7 on that previous
Yeah,
the
that's
one
another
ball.
excellent point you brought up there. Yeah, he probably would have. Let's see what happens.
I think he's playing the combo, though. He seems to be going offensively. Oh, man. Oh, that's going to hurt.
I don't think he can make the 5.
Yeah. May not be able to.
I don't think he can make the 5. Pagulayan should have played position, in my opinion, for the 2, not for the 2-4 combination. Even though it was a little tricky to play position for the 2, as opposed to playing for the combination,
Yeah.
I would have played position for the 2. Now, as far as playing your shot, I would have played your shot for sure instead of playing for the combination.
Yeah. Even there, he didn't have to play that combination. He could have put the cue ball underneath the 5 the way they were laying and just put the 2 ball on the rail. But he made one tough combination. That one wasn't quite as tough, and he decided he wanted to go.
The tournament desk is looking for Robert
He's in trouble.
He was playing
He's
safe.
in trouble.
He was playing safe there, but it just didn't quite. It went a little bit too far.
Well, considering how Pagulayan's been playing, this certainly isn't any gimme. No, there's
Not even with Jason Shaw.
There's 9 feet that separate the cue ball and the 2 ball.
I think it's more the 6 inches between your ears that you're thinking of doubt too. You know. Here we go. Might even go rail first. No, ball first. Thought he might go rail first just to avoid running into those. But
And now he has to make another good shot. And now this shot can be played in either corner. Whatever corner he likes best. Playing in the right-hand corner is a little safer if you happen to miss it. That's the safer corner if you happen to miss it, because you don't have to give up a shot as often. And this is not really ideal either.
Not
This
at
is
all.
similar to the combination that Pagulayan just missed because of the possible position potential that it offers.
yeah, Gorst has now got to look at like laying the cue ball on the 5 with a little top spin here. I
How
don't
about
think
just
he's.
laying the cue ball underneath the 5 and don't
That's
even
what I
play
mean.
the 3?
Yeah, right. Yeah,
No,
playing
he's
safe
looking to
by
play
just-
the carom. He's looking to play the 3 off the 7, 6 there.
If it was a little closer to the pocket, he's got to hit this so thin. It's very easy. No, he made it easy. But look how thin he hit the 6 to get that, because the 6
Well, he was so
hardly traveled.
close to the ball, you know, he could gamble there because of how close he was to the ball to increase the accuracy of the hit. So, you know, I don't think that there was much of a decision for him because he can win the game with that shot. You know, and he was close enough to make him feel that he may have been a 2-1 favorite.
Yep.
At least.
Yeah, and you
if
definitely
you're a
don't.
2-1 favorite with that type of a shot with the score tied 9 apiece, you better believe you got to take it.
You don't want the lion up there kicking at something.
Yeah.
You know, just because you got him safe doesn't mean you've won.
Yeah, and even if you miss it, there's no guarantee that you're going to give up a gimme.
True that.
You know?
Yeah. You don't have to sell out just because you missed that shot.
So there were a lot of positives with that particular decision. That looks like pretty good speed. Not really. Excuse me. Spoke too quickly.
Okay, I don't know if we can get the overhead real quick, but if we can, I think he can fire this in and go here.
Yeah, that seems to be the only route available. And he's going to have to take a longer shot on the 9.
Yeah, anything from just below the head spot would be great, you know, and that's about what you have here.
He really can't roll it in and go 1, 2, and fall short because he has hit it with a little more speed. He's got to go 1, 2, and then cross the table.
He played it.
Wow.
Look at this shot.
That was a pool shot there.
That was reminiscent of the opening rack when Pagulayan went 5 rails,
yes.
you know. So
Yes.
yeah, tremendous shot.
You know, you have to anticipate getting that slide off that second cushion. You know, if you know you're going to get that slide off that second cushion, then you can play that shot in the fashion that he did.
Boy, something else.
Now, Gorst is going to take the lead 10-9, and then he's going to be breaking the balls.
That world-class pool. Here, my friend. There it is. Oh, what a shot that was. All right, 10-9's our score. Gorst will be breaking here. This will be his final break of the match.
Rack number 20. Fedor breaks on the hill.
Four ball found in the side pocket. What's going to happen with the 1 and the 2?
Oh, he got a good kiss that time.
Oh, boy.
Wow, Pagulayan must really be feeling bad now.
Yeah.
Now it's, let's take a look at the layouts. 2, 3,
Yeah.
4 is gone. 5 is next. It's conveniently positioned once the 2 is gone. From
Now,
the 3 to the 5.
Pagulayan's thinking he hates it because he has to rely on Gorst
3 to the
failing.
4. Pardon me?
Pagulayan doesn't like it because he has to rely on Gorst failing. You can't help. The balls aren't going to help you.
Yeah, he doesn't have much of hope because this guy here, I don't think is going to fail. Considering how the balls are positioned.
Right. Yeah, the 5x10 and maybe a little chink in the armor along the way, but it is possible for him to go ahead and run this rack out.
Yeah, like the 2 to the 3 is automatic. The 3 to the 4 is just about automatic. The 4 to the 5 is just about. 5 to the 6 just about. 6 to the this is over. You'd have to make. I don't think that he would fail in this position 1 out of 20 times. I really don't.
Yeah,
I really don't.
No, right. That's what I'm saying. Is Alex knows that there's really not much to hope for other than.
So he's got about a 5% chance of winning this game, not the match, this game. And then parlay with the match,
Yep.
he's maybe a 35-40 to 1 underdog. Really?
Well, if he can win this rack, he's breaking, and then so.
Yeah, but the trick is to win this rack.
All right.
Yeah, he drew back a little bit too. I don't know. No, he didn't. Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second. He knows he mishit that.
Yep.
He knows he mishit that, and his body language has certainly changed.
He's got to hit a good ball here. I think top spin gets him there, though. If he hits the pocket pure.
I don't know if he can go forward here. And going backward, he's going to have to draw and miss that side pocket with a good stroke and come back on the other side of the table for the 7. He's in trouble here. He is in trouble. I see some bad things happening here.
Oh, yeah. It can definitely happen. I think it's going to be top spin with just a hint of left English. And then he's going to use the power.
You think so?
I think he's going to use the power to create the angle.
Oh, then he cut it enough to get around?
Barely with the power. He needs the power to arc it around. Yeah. See? Yeah.
Wow, what a stroke.
Yeah. He hit that pocket. You can hear it, just the ring here. You know how clean he hit that pocket. So
Yeah.
great shot.
Good call on that one. I didn't think he had the angle to do that.
He made it happen. It wasn't just laying naturally. He had to arc that a little bit.
Wow. Great shot. Great shot. You play the 8 in the same pocket as the 7?
I think that's what he's going for. I think that plays the easiest for him. That way he did. No, he was able to
Oh,
hold
no,
it.
easily, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Looks like the fat lady's going to sing.
Hey, this kid is tough business, and he's here to win. He doesn't care who he's playing. This is his game, and that's how he plays it.
That's an old term for the opera.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not over until the fat lady sings.
You don't see many pool players at the opera. Have you ever noticed? They're not quite that cultured.
I don't know. I've never been at the opera.
Oh.
Maybe because I'm a pool player.
You know, quality performance here. As he faces down match ball.
Yeah, that's how it's done.
How about that shot where he seed back down off the end rail to get on the 9 ball in the previous rack? What a great match. And Billy, thank you so much. Yes. I really enjoyed it. So
I enjoyed it too. Thank you.
good deal. This has been World Class 10 Ball presented by Accu-Stats, the worldwide leader of billiards programming. On behalf of all of us, thank you for joining us, and we will return back shortly.